and are still doing to me makes me a warrior, and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah, yeah. I said, wait a minute, is everybody alright? How can everybody be alright? Think about the people starving in Ethiopia. Think about my brothers struggling for power in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under. Tell me, Lord, how long do my people have to suffer? Oh, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, and I'm a fighter. Yes, I know I'm gonna have to fight on for my total freedom. Yeah, oh yeah, alright. No.
Good evening and welcome to douglAR Politics. We start off on a very solemn note. 592 positive cases today, 28 deaths overnight. 28 citizens have succumbed to COVID-19. The record for the number of deaths in Trinidad and Tobago. 28 families are mourning loved ones. 28 deaths, COVID-19. We're going to start off this evening with 28 seconds of silence, contemplation, and quiet prayer for all the families, the 28 today and the 1,900, I humbly apologize. Maybe that was wishful thinking to eliminate another 800. 1,947 citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago who have succumbed to COVID-19, who have died from this virus. We stay silent for 28 seconds, beginning now. Good evening and welcome to douglAR Politics. I just realized today that I don't have a purple shirt or nothing that could be considered purple. So I had to get my purple Whitcoat Desperados jersey out in commemoration of World Pancreatic Cancer Day. The John E. Sabga Foundation, a sportsman, a patriot, a truly good person and human being, the foundation, Napa, and Hyatt are trying to get people aware of the fight against pancreatic cancer. So I'm wearing my only purple. I'll have to go down by Detour or Bradford or somewhere and buy some purple shirts. It's weird, many shirts, but none purple. So support all cancers. Support any donation that you can give, but this is in commemoration of World Pancreatic Cancer Day. No knee-jerk reaction, says Skerrett, the Cricket West Indies president. Before the World Cup, when his selectors pick a setter geriatric who needed crutch and wheelchair to go and represent the West Indies, all of us were asking, but why are you making these selections? The team is not balanced. You have no deadly bowler. You have no bowlers to take wickets. You have a set of all-rounders who bowl in donkey drop and who are old. Half of them, my boys on the team, God bless them, but some of them is grandfather and so on. What were you doing? Explain leaving out Sunil Narayan. Explain leaving out Odin Thomas. Omari Shepherd. Explain leaving out the all-rounder from Barbados, #1 all-rounder in one-day cricket holder. You didn't want to explain. You just tell us rally round the team. Well, we couldn't rally round nothing because it's the worst set of nonsense ever played, Skerrett. Now you're telling us no knee-jerk reaction. The only jerk is you, Skerrett. You feel you know. You embarrass the whole country, the whole region. 7.3 million people get curtailed from everybody laughing at me. Not once in a game could we look like we dominated. Not once did we look at one batsman looking like they were struggling, trying to figure out our bowling. We were pathetic because of you, Skerrett. And now you're telling us no knee jerk. You're a jerk. Resign. Watford and Manchester, Ole, as we talk about resign, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, sorry, go your way now, man. All right? You're getting paid big bucks. Watford give me 4 today, Quattro. I didn't even know Watford know how to play guitar, Quattro, nothing. But the world of football needs to make an adjustment. There's a lacuna in the VAR. Today, it didn't help Manchester United, but a penalty was given, and the penalty was struck, and the keepers, De Gea saved it. But a fella encroached which means he was running into the box before the ball was struck. Now he went, and Colonel Glenn tell me, well, everybody went, but he went first. But most importantly, his cheating and encroachment allowed him to get the rebound, and he kicked it in the goal. They then went to VAR, and they realized that he did encroach, but the team was rewarded with a re-kick. Now think about it. De Gea had saved the penalty. So here you are rewarding someone for breaking the rules because the penalty was missed in the initial circumstance. So they need to write in and tighten up that rule, because you cannot be rewarding somebody for encroachment as in the case of a save. You understand? That could never be the intention of the rule. I understand it as it is written now, and the referee made the correct decision, but we found a little lacuna that needs correction. Distraught Payne, the captain of Australia Test cricket team, Payne, he resigns. But this is very interesting. He had sent some texts, he's a married man and so on, and sent some inappropriate text to a lady back in 2017 or so. He admitted to it and so on. But it was investigated, and he was cleared. The texts they were embarrassing for him as a married man, but he was cleared of any sexual harassment and so on. However, and I read this out for you in Trinidad and Tobago, listen to the kind of class that this man, Tim Payne, the Australian Test cricket captain, listen to the class. Though cleared of wrongdoing, the husband and father of three said on reflection, his actions had not met the standards of an Australian cricket captain or the wider community. I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and pain that I have caused to my wife, my family, and to the other party, Payne told reporters. I'm sorry for any damage that this does to the reputation of our sport, and I believe that it is the right decision for me to stand down as captain, effective immediately. Paula May Weeks, Payne, class. Keith Christopher Rowley, Tim Payne, class. Even though cleared of wrongdoing, y'all wasn't cleared of nothing, but y'all have no class. You understand? Madam Paula May Weeks, Madam PNM May Weeks. Hey, yeah, what you want me to say? You getting involved in politics? Who tell you to allow the merit list to be withdrawn? You're appointing people who find I am a black hater, Maxine Atong. But Rowley, the double stuff Oreo, is what? What he is? If I is a black hater, what they call he? Calling UNC vile. But you appointing these PNM people, these sycophants, to an independent commission after your whole commission collapsed, and you still there sitting down in office? Take example from the Cricket Australia captain. This is what you call class. The man was cleared of wrongdoing. He could have continued as captain, gone on to make big money and play. But he said, even though I was cleared, I have brought the office of which I hold, the captaincy, into disrepute. And therefore, the captaincy is bigger than me, and I resign. Paula May Weeks, you have dragged the flag of the country and the office of the president, and you sit there. You sit there like you're stuck in a tub of lard. You're not moving, and you're getting on just like Rowley, ignoring all the cries of the people for information, for democracy, and for the upliftment of our constitution. Shame on you, man. But Rowley, he had no shame. We expect that from he. He had no shame since 1969. Let me tell you something. While we sit here and we play politics with police service commission, when you need police to be independent, we have a man parading now as the PNM accounting officer, playing commissioner, to go and apply, while people trying to discuss the removal of a merit list which was duly and carefully and legally, legitimately completed and signed off by a quorum of the former Police Service Commission without disrepute, without any problems. It was legitimate. Now they're discussing that they're going to get rid of that. And the man who parading around town, listening to a Talbot, taking advice from a Talbot, taking advice from the PNM, firing people based on the PNM, firing people and leaving he two daughter there, firing people and leaving Miss Ramgalam daughter there, firing the groundsman, but telling we that it is cost saving, but you fire a groundsman. But your two daughters making 28,000, the groundsman making 5,000. Make it make sense. But all you're playing games, politicizing police. Let me show you what happens when politics gets involved with police matters. 2 to be cleared of Malcolm X killing. Malcolm X was killed back in the 60s. Now they realize they make a mistake. Man dead in jail. Man spent 40, 50 years in jail because of politicization. Because back then, Malcolm X was fighting for equal rights of black people. And he was shaking up the status quo. He was not keeping quiet while the Congress and the Speaker and the President and the FBI were giving instructions and the governors were giving instructions. He did not stay quiet because some elitist told him that he must have decorum and he must not argue for democratic rights. He didn't stay quiet. But let me read this. 2 men convicted in the assassination of Malcolm X are set to be cleared after more than half a century, with prosecutors now saying authorities withheld evidence in the civil rights leaders' killing, withholding evidence, impacting, playing politics with evidence, creating an immunity and an indemnity with a witness in a criminal proceedings. These things cause a breakdown in the justice system. Understand what went on there and what is going on here in Trinidad and Tobago. You have a mascara man, a Porsche renter man, a building renter man, a dunce attorney general who is interfacing and signing indemnity with a witness in a criminal trial. And we are here not. DPP officer nothing to say. Them find that okay, or are they waiting to talk? Nobody says anything. We just move ahead. Well, look what happens when you just move ahead and you don't follow proper judicial proceeding. Man end up in jail. The men getting cleared 50 years after being wrongfully convicted. And while all these games going on and no commissioner of police, murder, shootout, like the OK Corral up in Tunapuna, 150 bullets, the CID police coming under fire, rapid fire, Uzi and so on. In Trinidad and Tobago, Archie, there was a video of crime. Now there's crime all over. You could move Malcolm X there. Good looking fella. And I was just watching Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X were good friends. I mean, they had a little squabble at the end. But this crime here, with no commissioner of police, it hurt my heart. Because Ethelbert and the PNM have thrown their arms up in the air with COVID-19. They have failed. Never mind the UNC was telling you that they were failing from since January 30th, 2020. That they were complete failures, that they had no clue, that they were not specialized, that they had junior doctors, that the politics was playing politics. Rowley was playing politics with COVID-19 and putting lives in danger in order to try and win an election and to keep in control of the treasury and to put his corrupt web to create systemic corruption. And for the first time in Trinidad and Tobago, from the top come down, a web of Spider-Man corruption coming through. Now you know that they've thrown their arms up in the air. They don't know what to do and they just say you're on your own, dead. And 28 people dead today. But they've also thrown their arms up and said, well, crime will accelerate after the state of emergency, says sleepy dog killer Hines. But look at what is happening. And let me tell you something, this video. Look at this man. This man has his baby girl in his arms. Archie, my mic on, I want to say it because yes. Look at him. He's opening the gate for his wife to come in. A little baby, the baby must be no more. Look, she pointing, telling her daddy something, talking. She must be 17 months to 22 months old. He has his child in his hands, and look, this is broad daylight, not a cloud in the sky. The lady drives in to park in the safety of her home, her car that she's working hard to pay off for. And look at this madness here. Watch this. Watch this. Doors fly open. The papa is closing with the baby in his left arm. And watch these miscreants. Watch these clowns with gun and thing waving. Push the man with the child. Push open the gate. Rough up the man with a child in his hands. The man is running. Look at this man. He don't know what to do. He has the child. He run across there. They pull the lady out of the car and they drive out to steal a car. When we reach this level of anarchy, madness, because them clowns know there is no commissioner of police. Them clowns know the police are inept. Them clowns know there is no leadership. Them clowns know that they can do what the hell they want. And all you're now saying to play politics and play games to try and uphold your stupidity and your constitutional crisis that law-abiding citizens must not have gun. You PNM people are sick. Let me tell you something. God forbid that my child, well, if all the other put me in Golden Grove, so be it. I go and sit down in a bucket and stay inside in the overcrowded, COVID-infested Golden Grove. A man child, this place we are lost, and you all still think politics is some game. Look, Manchester United lost today. All right, I bet I'm upset, but tomorrow I wake up, I have to walk, I have to go in the Senate, I have to go and do our opposition press conference, I have to prepare to debate Tuesday to mash up Senator Massa, I have to do douglAR politics, I have to go U97.5 radio, I have to go and do revision with my daughter. That game, even though I lost, it means nothing in my life. Manchester United, even though I'm not happy, but it does not impact my life. Elections impact your life. The incompetence that is in office now allowed those three criminal bandits in hot sun to attack a man with his daughter in his hand. That's where we reach. Long-time criminal used to have at least a little code of ethics. Even criminal have no code of ethics because they're following the leader Rowley, who had no ethics since 1969. Getting pum-pum as a teacher from a girl of school age. And that all you have? And you all think it's funny? We are totally lost. Them sick fellas. All you sick boy. Jacobs, what are you doing? You looking for Balize to tickle your ears, Jacobs? Eh? You happy that Imbot and Fitzgerald, incompetent, dotish Heinz find you good? If them find you good, it means you're a goat, boy. You don't understand. Agriculture, talking about goat. Agriculture Ministry. Clarence talking the Senate, colluding with independent senators to try and bad talk and censure the opposition. Clarence, you are a clown. Anywhere you go up for election, you just get licks. You are what you call a perennial loser. Even when you go by Budit, you just lose. I hear all them girls inside of there talking about Clarence, the Farrance, who should be taking horny goat weed. Is that true? You went by Budit recently? Clarence, I go see you Tuesday. All you want to bring censure motion on the opposition? All right, bring it. But Clarence, you're a goat. You can't do nothing in agriculture. No food production. Food price inflation going up. People going to the grocery, they just seen it going up. We are at the mercy of global prices because we have a clown in agriculture. Look, Agriculture Ministry dropping the ball. Let's see what other ball, because the amount of balls he dropped, a Clarence. Daily we learn of another government department which is all talk but no substance. We all know about the water story, right? Wasa and the roads department. Locusts and the African snails are devastating farms, but no action from the department, from this clown here. Cannot even deal with African snails. Was proclaimed this year after the scourge being around. And locusts, nothing. This man cannot even kill pests. Boy, moving now. Yeah? But Clarence, boy, what a total abject clown. Unbearable fumes. All you went COP26 and had Rowley lying to an empty room. Oh yes, we've diversified the economy. We are very serious on the environment. Never mind, we shut down the Ministry of the Environment, and we've had 3 different oil spills, and we've been caught trying to cut up the oil and let it sink to the bottom of the ocean to cause devastation to the fisheries for decades to come. We have shut down, and we have Nikwan blowing up. We have fires going without any proper fire engine. Our environmental policy is non-existent. We still have garbage burning in the dump. No recycling plan, no renewable energy plan, except to try and get the Tsar's son to make a deal with his half-brother to come with hydrogen. But we lie to the world, but the world knows that we are idiots. Hear this now. Vestany residents complain after oil spill again. Heritage Petroleum with AA Kwamina, Rowley lawyer. They spill no information on fake oil. They spill that. They hold that tight. But the oil spilling all over, damaging our rivers, our wildlife, our farms, our water courses, our aqueducts, everything getting damaged because of the incompetence of this PNM government. No councillor in Debe for 8 months. Debe residents, Rowley studying to go in the parliament and instruct the EBC how to divide up PNM seats in Tobago in order to give PNM a gerrymandering, Rowley mandering advantage in another THA election, second THA election in Tobago. But a man passed away, a councillor, and in Debe, because the PNM care about certain places, geographical discrimination, the people came out to protest and let them know, and let Madam President Paula May Weeks, while you're appointing Maxine King, Inez Investments, Alan Warner, Rowley business partner, to a police service commission to do the bidding of you and Rowley that you asked Bliss to do, and Bliss gets shaft, but you leave Sharice in the Senate to deal. I go deal with Sharice Tuesday too. All your independent senators, and all is a team, all is PNM, okay. Welcome. My name is Anil. I'm a UNC senator. Welcome to the politics. Since you all want to dive into the politics, you all want to attack the UNC, you all want to play that you all is more PNM than PNM, well, all right. It's open season, and it's not a movie. Run it, Archie. Councillors, we need the election in Debe. Run it. And the People Revolution continues. It started in October and it continues until Rowley must go. Rowley and the PNM must be removed from Tobago and the political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago local government and central government. The elections have consequences. We must return some sort of propriety, meritocracy, some sort of brilliance to governance, that people who are qualified, passionate, understanding, have a heart and put their heart, soul and brain into an area must lead so that creative new ideas can move forward. This bag of dunce, this bag of web of corruption, this bag of Rowleyites, it is terrible for our red, white and black, and all of your PNM should be shame. I know you're shame, except the real, I mean, if you're getting a little contract and think, oh, you have a little work, all right, but anybody else should be totally shame. The IMF calls on authorities to deal with forex issues. The International Monetary Fund mission that recently visited Trinidad and Tobago has called on authorities to remove all restrictions on current international transactions while providing sufficient foreign exchange to meet demand for all current international transactions. The mission underscored the need for an appropriate policy mix to support the exchange rate regime and call for the removal of restrictions on current international transactions. Yes, IMF, you could call for all of that. But you see, in Trinidad and Tobago, y'all don't realize that we don't have an independent central bank governor who is able to take decisions in the best interests of the businessmen, the people, and the economy of Trinidad and Tobago to manage the money supply. We have a central bank governor who is business partners with the Prime Minister in Iney's Gate. He buy house and he have shareholdings right next door to Rowley. So therefore, he agrees and supports anything Rowley does. So he does not work as a counterbalance to the stupidity of Coleman, but he adds to the stupidity. He fuels the stupidity. So he does not take decisions that counter the stupidity of the fiscal regime, the borrowing and the dunce Coleman, but that he is doing because he is friendly with the PNM. He is a neighbor to Rowley, and this clown, this is why the country is in a mess. If you want to be a PNM, may God bless you, but come out of the people independent institutions, all your sick human beings. Because a central bank governor is to monitor the situation, see whatever the government does, and take countermeasures in order to allow business to thrive, interest rates to maintain, and create opportunities for investment and moving forward. But when you have a central bank governor going down the same line as the fiscal stupidity, we have what we have now, where people cannot get US. There's a black market for US. Businessmen, all you know, all you're buying it for $8, $8.50 and so on, because you could only get 10% of what you need. People who have the children outside to pay fees cannot get an Imbot. I wonder if you have it. I might be out of sync, Archie. Imbot tweeted something to talk about a fake profile. I feel I'm messing you up because I don't think I double check that. Wave your hand if you have it. It's a tweet, a kind of black back screen. Yes, oh Lord, Archie, you're real good. Sorry about that, my brother. But I'm proud of you. That is performance. I go vote for you, Archie. You see, when you work good, you get votes. This is Colm Imbe. So many phony letters to the Now, if you all know Colm Imbe over the years, Colm Imbe had the most fake profile in the history of politics. He's the man invent fake profile, right? So if I find out laughing, Colm Imbe know why I laughing. Griping and blaming the government for make-believe issues. The latest fake is David Salinger claiming he can't get US dollars for his 43-year-old company. However, the real Salinger died in 2010. No such person on the voters list. How you know about the voters list? You check the whole of Trinidad and Tobago voters list, but that's not the point. Vishnu Kun, who's here on douglAR Politics, his daughter is in medical school, and just 2 weeks ago he could not get US and was told by the bank that the US was only for trade. He had utilized all for his trade. He was only getting 14% of what he required. And then he could not get any US to pay his daughter's medical tuition, medical school fees. Vishnu Kun, douglAR Politics, real person calm. You clown, you midget clown. Come out, take him out now, man. These people are really sick. Caribbean Airlines gets first MAX 8 aircraft. I'm happy for all you know in Trinidad and Tobago. The media just print this easy. No consultation, no discussion, no attempts to allay the fears of the people. Them MAX 8 planes crash and kill hundreds of people, right? Look, MAX 8, okay? The government just gone ahead and sign, and they continue to lease. Is that how government works, with a government agency and a government company spending taxpayers' dollars? Shouldn't the people be told what was the rationale, what was the decision? Were there any changes made to the problems that caused these planes to crash? There were 2 or 3 crashes killing over 500, 600 people. What was done by the company? What made Caribbean Airlines confident? No discussion. Just Cal gets first MAX 8 aircraft. 3 years after majority state-owned Caribbean Airlines disclosed it was replacing its fleet, the airline announced the arrival of first of 9 737 MAX 8 aircraft it ordered from Chicago-based airline manufacturer Boeing. When the option to exit was presented to the airline, they would not have faced any penalties for exercising the option, because people were allowed after thing crash to come out of a contract, come out of a lease, come out of anything. But the beleaguered carrier opted to maintain it. In December 2020, the MAX 8 was cleared for flying after 20 months of being grounded by the Federal Aviation Authority. That's very good. I'm happy for the Federal Aviation Authority. I'm happy that the MAX 8 got cleared. That's enough for Trinbagonians. We don't want no more information. We don't want to know why we didn't opt out, why we stuck with it, what was the science, what was the engineering, what are the changes that have been made, what is the efficacy of the changes, and why we should go on that flipping thing. All you find so. No, but don't bother, man. Just print the nonsense the PNM say, because Trinidadians and Tobagonians, we don't require information. Nah, just do what you want. As we say that, Junior Regrello, business booming in San Fernando. Right now I'm in San Fernando. I buy Atlantic Computer Supplies. Archie, is business booming in Atlantic Computer Supplies? Raise your hand if it booming, Archie, as a businessman who has a store. And all you come out and support Archie. All your computer needs, your electronic needs, your cameras, your CCTV, laptops, anything. Archie, is business booming? Open close, same thing. But this clown says business booming in San Fernando. San Fernando Mayor Junior Regrello believes the recent rollback of COVID-19 restrictions has already led to economic growth in the city, and he predicts that there will be further growth after the SOE was lifted on Wednesday. Regrello, I don't know whether that's fine or not. I wonder if PNM just go to the lowest depths of ignorance to scoop out people to put in position, you know. The whole of Sando, the whole of country know business in shambles. SOE no SOE, lift, look what she say, open, close, same thing. But you know something? It's not only Regrello, you know. Al-Rawi telling the UN, Trinidad and Tobago did the best in COVID-19 relief and grants and maintenance and stopping the spread. Rowley say, we did better than the rest of the world in COVID-19. We have done more, says the PNM, for any than other developed countries. The Al Singh say that too. Stuart Young say, NGC is the best. We negotiating, we're doing great. Never mind 700 million down the toilet. The Rohan say the roads are very good. 70% of the roads that y'all complaining on all over Trinidad and Tobago, Rohan say all you're wrong. The man with the water, well, he say all you no water. But don't politicize it. But in Tobago they say yes, nothing works. We created no jobs, education suffering, no opportunities, hotel foreclosures, people suffering, beach closed, COVID-19 spreading, 104 people dead. Tobago pothole, road infrastructure, nothing, no marina, no agriculture, nothing working in Tobago. But the PNM say don't change, we are brilliant, and if you do anything else, it will hurt you. Let me tell you something. How the PNM sees itself is totally different from reality, you know, and that's why we need information. The PNM sees themselves as glowing Olympic gold medalists, when the reality is that we got not a medal. PNM sees themselves as brilliant footballers playing like France, even though we get knocked out by Bahamas. The PNM sees themselves as the Australian T20 team playing back and forth, bowling, fielding, batting, all kind of thing, coaching, fitness, strategy, where they play just like the West Indies. No use. The PNM sees themselves, Archie. Look at how the PNM sees themselves, and then check the reality. You have it? The dancing video, boy. You forget, we go bring that back there just now. You make me waste a whole drama. Not that. They had a little video with some nice bailan thing. Where Vishnu help out Archie. Message him there. Right? We moving right along then. I'll come back to that. I'd like to see that. Now, BP, Claire Fitzpatrick, Stuart Smallpin Young, Keith Rowley come in the Parliament and the Senate and buffing and shouting down. They attacked Curtis Williams on the political platform for printing the truth over a year ago. Kevin Ramnarine says since May 11, 2019, BP has no gas. That ain't going nowhere. Stuart Smallpin Young and Rowley come and say, nah man, it's only 33 million US we lost. We throw it down the drain. That's manageable. 33 million US, 230 million DT. Nah man, we negotiating. These negotiations are so complex. Y'all can't understand, but we will advise y'all in time when the thing crash. Well, this is the boss lady of BP. She was on MCTV with Bo. Good morning with Bo Tiwari. Well, hear what this lady say, and then all you listen to all your PNM liars. Run it.
BP had problems with anticipated gas fines in 2019 and indicated this to the government so that there was knowledge that there would be problem with the supply of gas. And this was known by both BP and the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Is that true?
Unfortunately, in our business, we manage risk. That's basically a lot of what our business is about. And those wells did not, in fact, discover the gas that we had anticipated. So we were unable to enter into a new contract for Train 1. And yes, that was public knowledge in 2019, and that has continued to be the case.
That was public knowledge in 2019. Not only was it public knowledge, that knowledge was told to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Energy, the Minister of Energy, the Cabinet, the NGC, the Mark Loquan, Conrad Enil, who's your daddy. It was told to all of them. And yet they decided to continue to waste your taxpayers' money while coming to tell you, pay property tax so them could flush millions, hundreds of millions of dollars down the toilet and tell you, well, that was manageable. And then Young says, NGC funding on Atlantic LNG for turnaround cost, not upgrade. Let's hear what this clown Stuart here, what's he hand doing something? You know, it's lie after lie after lie. A Minister of Energy and Energy Industry, Stuart Smallpin Young, has said the funding provided by National Gas Company for the Atlantic LNG train was for turnaround costs and not to upgrade. Young was speaking in the Senate on Tuesday, responding to questions from Senator Wade Mark. Per the terms of the supply contracts with upstream suppliers, NGC has an obligation to take gas or pay for the product it does not take, known as take or pay contract. Yes, that you and Rowley went to Houston and negotiate. So don't come and complain about your stupidity because the upstreamers outsmarted you. You are a dunce, and they knew it when they finished negotiate with you and Rowley. You and Rowley in Houston. I would have liked to be in that line. Them must have gone so smoking cigar and drinking scotch, boy. Only I see them two boboli we get from Trinidad, boy. Then look, we going to make 67% increased profit. Bam! Bonus, boy, bonus, eh? That's when you catch a boboli. Do you have small pin there? Archie, run small pin.
All of what you've been hearing about losses at NGC and these wild accusations of losses and figures and $400 million, that was again complete falsehoods. Yes, sometimes businesses take a risk, a gamble, and it doesn't work out. That is the energy sector. You know how many people have drilled dry holes and dry wells and not gotten returns? But I stand here today and assure the people of Trinidad and Tobago, as we continue to negotiate, as we're doing right now with Atlantic LNG and the restructuring, we will find a way to recover, as we did for the first time with a basket price of gas. That was never done before. And just the revenue we've earned by that, the increased enhanced revenue by negotiating that and pushing and fighting for that has...
You know what's the funny thing? Them just believe themselves, you know. Them just really believe that we are a bunch of idiots. He's still negotiating. Since 2011, the boss people at BPT said no gas, we dry hole. The infill drilling was not successful, we're not going there. Kevin Ramnarine know that long time. Curtis Williams and the Business Guardian know that long time. The whole country know that long time. The board members, when instructed to do the wrong thing, say, listen now, That ain't making sense, you know. If all you tell me, make that decision to waste that money, all you had to give me an indemnity. Here, Colminbot now. Colminbot come to try to justify, follow me carefully, you know. Try to justify an indemnity for board of directors, and hear the justification. This is amazing about the PNM. You could be talking about roti, and they will come with a straight face and talk about meatballs. You understand? Here, Colminbot. Nothing odd about indemnity of indemnifying directors. Personal indemnity of corporate directors is nothing unusual, says Finance Minister Colminbot. He said in the House of Representatives, right? Now, Colminbot says that a director does not have monetary liability to the company except in cases of extreme misconduct, such as breaches of fiduciary duty of loyalty, bad faith conduct, intentional misconduct or violations of law, or transactions where the director derives an improper personal benefit. Colminbot is telling you, no indemnification is normal for directors, except when they're lying and they're doing things in bad faith and they're wasting people money, and they ought to have known that it would be wasted, and the probability and all the research says that it will be wasted, and the other shareholders are telling you that that money will be wasted and we're not going forward. That is exactly what happened. Colminbot. So you, Colminbot standing up to tell you indemnification of directors is a normal thing. When they take decisions in good faith, with good information, they mean that there could have been a reasonable opportunity for success. That's fine, Colminbot. That's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about that NGC. All the information going up to 89.9% says no, do not. There's no gas, there's no infill gas. The two major shareholders not investing. Do not do that. The board members say, listen, this thing ain't making sense. If all you want me and all your cabinet instructed me to do that, I want an indemnity because we cannot get directors' liability insurance from Lloyd's of London. You see, indemnification of directors is normal, and those in the know, like Lloyd's of London and those in the business for hundreds of years, they make decisions and they will insure you for normal risk. Business is always has a slight risk, but you gather information, you get statistics, you get reports, you do research, and you take decisions in good faith trying to make money, and the insurer will insure you for that, because the odds are that they will be successful, and the odds of failure are insurable where they can make a profit. What an insurer will not do is like in the case of NGC, when all the information, all the experts, all the research, all the shareholders, the major shareholders say, we not going there, we not investing anymore there, we do not have the gas for that, that is not going to make us a profit, we are redirecting our gas elsewhere, so that is not a non-starter. When you have all of that information telling you, do not invest, and you go against that, that crosses over into the realm of bad faith, bad instructions, bad business decisions, high risk too high to be insured. And that's what we're talking about, Colminbot. So you have defined yourself into a position that if you provide them board members with indemnity, Colminbot, you will be liable also. But you have already admitted that it was Rowley Smallpin and yourself, the cabinet, who instructed Conrad Enil and the board and Mark Loquat. That's why everybody love everybody and everybody supporting everybody while the people money gone. 700 million and Colminbot, oh, it's only 232 million. But you said you're still investing, and if you're still investing, there was money approved till December 31st, which carries it up to the 440 million. So if it's 33, even Smallpin misspoke in the Senate, and while he was doing this, the truth jumped out him out of the ball, 82 million US. But then there were other projects also that wasted 200 million on a project that was unnecessary, decision by the NGC board, and another project that wasted 250 million. So already 700 million and a possible another 180 million wasted and flushed down, and Rowley is telling you of your money, your taxpayer money. That's manageable. Excellent. Here in but to indemnify directors who acted in good faith and in the company's best interest. Yes, that's normal. But in this case of NGC, no one can say that the board acted in good faith. They acted on the political instructions to make a terrible decision in the face of full research, information, analysis, reports, and conclusive statements from the major shareholders that is a non-starter. Therefore, the risk was not a reasonable one, and there can be no indemnification. Imbut gets it wrong again. Curtis Williams, Business Guardian, page 11, Thursday, November 18th. Finance Minister Colm Imbut has again gotten his natural gas figures wrong, this time for fiscal 2021. The Business Guardian can confirm that based on the figures from Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, the average natural gas production for TNT for fiscal 2021 was closer to 2.6 billion standard cubic feet per day, BCFSF. And not the 2.77 that Colm lie again. This is about the 5th time Colm lie. And Bolin, it's booming. It's booming. Well, from one boomer to another. Again, the PNM believes no matter how incompetent they are, no matter how idiotic they are, no matter how many bad decisions they take, no matter what sort of criminal negligence results from their decisions, that they are doing well. Miriam Abdul Richards has now been promoted, uplifted by Keith Rowley, while she is part of the team that has overseen 1,947 dead citizens, where we have 592 positive cases and growing right now, where the economy is shattered, where we were under state of emergency for approximately 160, 170 days and nothing happened. We come full circle. Total, complete failure by Miriam Abdul Richards. But she gets promoted to another PNM board. Can y'all make it make sense? She was already... And this is why we said there is no trust, vaccine hesitancy. People are not taking on the government because they do not trust the PNM. They do not trust Rowley. They do not trust Convent Girl. They do not trust Avery Hines. They do not trust Miriam Abdul Richards. And they do not trust Paris Ram, because every time they speak, they try to make Rowley sound truthful. And when you have a pathological liar, you then become a liar trying to protect the liar. And people are not stupid. They've realized. But PNM now, Rowley promotes this woman. She was already on NIPDEC board, PNM. She was already on Bureau of Standards board, PNM. She was already on the Eastern Regional Health Authority board, PNM. Above her salary, that's additional. And now, in the face of abject total incompetence, she going to decide how to make rum for we to drink. They put she now on the cushy Angostura PNM board. Miriam Abdul rum drinking Richards now. You all think it's joke I'm making? Run it, Archie.
All you're not making it make sense for me. I want all you to make this make sense, please. All you make it make sense now. All you make it make sense now.
Left, right, and center. We have the highest death rate in the ICU, the HDU. 28 people dead. In November alone, in the first 12 days of November, nearly 100 and something people dead. But yet she gets promoted. If her brain not working, if her plans not working, if her implementation not working, if her vaccine program not working, how come she getting promoted? What is this goat doing here? This goat, what is this? Horny goat weed? What is this? Is it pum-pum governance? Rowley, come in. Is this part of your pum-pum governance? Archie? And to just make sure you all understand that what this woman is, let's play a video of what she's trying to say. She's so confused, either that she's not bright or she lying so much on Rowley. Lying down on Rowley. She lying so much to protect Rowley that she talks so much nonsense. Run it, Archie. Listen carefully.
Vaccination prevents us, the individual, from acquiring COVID-19 and reduces that risk. Secondly, vaccination prevents us from transmitting the COVID-19, especially given the presence of the Delta variant.
Archie, is it possible to run that again? All you listen to this woman saying that the vaccine does protect you. You can't get COVID, and then you can't spread it. Really? So everything else we read all over the globe about efficacy, about vaccination, you can still get it 19%, and then if you don't have your booster after 6 months, even with Pfizer, which is the Rolls Royce, you go down from 96% to 76%. What is that percentage? Isn't that percentage that we could still get it, but our symptoms would not be as acute? We would be able to not be hospitalized. But if we have it and we're fully vaccinated, you are saying we can't spread it? Look, lady, run it there again for me, Archie.
Vaccination prevents us, the individual, from acquiring COVID-19 and reduces that risk. Secondly, vaccination prevents us from transmitting the COVID-19, especially given the presence of the Delta variant.
Vaccination prevents us from transmitting the COVID, really and truly? So all the linemen and thing with the safe zones and the increase and the continued increase and the spike and all the people who all you're telling all the time that when you're vaccinated you're safe and you're strong and you're dividing and saying vaccinated versus unvaccinated. Well, it's not the vaccinated who going out online and spreading and taking it home and giving the vaccinated it. But on top of that, why we dead in so much? No, she good. So it don't bother her. Her performance is irrelevant. That she totally failed. That people are dying. That her system is failing. That the senior specialists are not involved. They have 1,947 people dead. 28 people dead over the last 24 hours. 582 more positive cases. Death on the horizon. Death after death. But she good. Because she have all she stipends and getting more. Is she going to be a candidate for St. Augustine for the PNM? Is that what we're hearing? She happy. Rowley happy. Alan Warner happy. Maxine King happy. Maxine Atong happy. Jacobs happy. Fitzgerald Hines happy. Mascara Man Al-Rawi happy. He get 46 million in rent a year own building plus 38 million. He happy. Small pin, he brother and father, 3 small pin. Them happy. 3.81 billion plus 15 million a year by 6. That is how much? 90 million for the IFC. Them happy. Convan girl, wife getting contract all over the place. The CEO, what the company she working, them happy. Man are so happy, buy 3 Porsche in 5 years and then forget the transit. Them happy. What about you? And by you, I don't mean all you who vote UNC or all you who didn't vote, you know. I'm talking about you, PNM. Yes, you. You happy? You happy with the crime situation? You happy with the COVID-19? You happy with all the citizens dying? You happy with the road infrastructure? You happy not having water? You happy not having laptop? You happy your children can't go to school? You happy with the bridges shutting down? You happy with the electricity rates coming up to raise in your tail? You happy without the gas subsidy? You happy when you go in the grocery and see your bill that you're $100 buying less and less every time? PNM people? All you happy? Well, what all you want me to say? I am saying pum governance. I tell Archie, you know, at the first time that woman come out in a press conference and you saw saddest man Sicko, the man who does watch woman and woman has feel to go and bathe with blue soap. When he watch he forget about Parasram and Hines. All he talking about is Abdul Richards. Yes, Abdul Richards. Boy, Rowley, you such a sick cute boy. But all you only know. But that's what happens, you know, Archie. The PNM believes, just like Miriam Abdul Richards, She happy she get her next board appointment. What she get there, I don't know what stipend it is. Her next 5,000, 7,000, 8,000 on top of the 5,000 for NIBDEC, on top of the 5,000 for the stipend for the Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standards, on top of the 5,000 for the ERH. That's about how much PNM pum money that is. But when she should be resigning, she getting promoted to board and so on, and all of us suffering because the PNM like this feel that they are so brilliant, they're doing such a bang up job, but when the reality is that they suck, that they are terrible, that they are hapless, that they are disgusting, that they are not intelligent, and that they are bringing pain across the people. Watch the video, Archie, watch what the PNM feel they look like, and then watch the reality. Run it. PNM.
Now is the time to build back the country. We walk AMLA, we walk AMLA, we walk AMLA for Prime Minister. We walk AMLA as the leader. We walk AMLA for Prime Minister. We walk AMLA for the future. Now is the time to vote for UMC. We want UMC to build back the country. We walk AMLA for Prime Minister. Let me see your voting finger. Everybody voting AMLA. Let me see your voting finger. UNC we say forever.
Oh Kamla Bisesa, UNC leader Kamla Passad Bisesa, UNC leader. We want you come back for Prime Minister. We want you come back for Prime Minister. Oh Kamla Bisesa, UNC leader Kamla Passad Bisesa, UNC leader. We want you come back for Prime Minister. We want you come back for Prime Minister. We want you come back for Prime Minister. We want you come back for Prime Minister.
And there you have it. So the PNM sees themselves like that couple that was dancing so professionally, brilliant speed, creativity, flexibility, agility, togetherness, synchronicity. Oh my goodness. That's how the PNM see themselves, you know. But it's really them two clown, Mascara Man and Small Pin going left foot, right foot out of time. But the PNM feel they great. That is what is our problem. We hear fight crimes against children. This is very true. Who's talking this? The Children's Authority is calling. Did you all discuss the issue with David Naked, with them boys that escaped and were found murdered and so on? Did you all investigate? Did you all report it? You all talking about fight crimes against children? I hope you all are. The Children's Authority is calling on the national community to become volunteers in fighting atrocities against children. Chairman of the Board of Management of the Authority, Dr. Carol Logie, made the appeal in a statement yesterday to celebrate World Children's Day, which is being observed today. Very interesting. I agree with you. We must fight all atrocities against children. Like when a Prime Minister takes away laptops from children and leaves them without education for 20 months of their growth and maturational stages that could never be recouped, when they will be at a deficit for decades to come, and that will impact their ability to earn a living and take care of their families. No laptops, no online, no MiFi. That's a crime against children, to take education from children. So I agree with you. You have to fight crime against children. No school. No schools built. Schools left unattended. School feeding down from 76,000 per day under the UNC and Kamla with Tim Kopi saying 76,000 breakfasts and 76,000 lunches, down to 20,000. That 56,000 hungry children, that's a crime to leave children hungry. 38,669 children have not gone online to do school for 20 months. They cut gate from 800 million under Fazal Karim down to 400 million. And children now, a lady in Cocorite called me on U97.5. She have 2 daughters. One is a civil engineer and going on to masters. And she had to work and hustle to pay because gate, she squeezed through with one. But she don't know. But when Kamala was there, she could have relaxed and taken her money to invest in the family. And she said while her children inside, only gunshots ringing out over in Cocorite. Cuts in sport funding for all our children. Parents have to do curricue, barbecue, all kind of thing to raise funds for their children to represent Trinidad and Tobago. COVID-19 and Delta, the porous borders, death and destruction. Out of the 28 people who died. You see why I'm a little vexed today? Out of the 28 people who died overnight, I am hearing that one was a child. I will confirm on Wednesday, but I'm hearing that one was a child. And when you look at what the PNM has done across Trinidad and Tobago, Tim Gopi Singh and Kamala Prasad Bisesa built 106 schools for our children in 5 years and 4 months. The PNM in the first 5 years built not one school. In the last year, they've opened 4 or 5 schools that Tim Gopi Singh left 71 schools at various levels of completion, ranging from 40% to 95% complete. And Rowley and his government left these schools to deteriorate, depreciate. I cannot even describe it. And I want the Children's Authority to tell me, is this an atrocity? Is this a crime against children? Archie went down to Ramai Trace Hindu School. Taxpayers' money for children. And look what Keith Rowley did. Run it.
So we inside the Ramai Trace Hindu School. Lord, I'm really trip on some bush there. Watch cricket net. The only cricket playing there is the insect. Watch after jungle. I'm surprised they didn't keep this tank yet.
Which one?
You tell me. This is the concept. We building school in the bush of Parrot and Dwen. They're making a perfectly good school. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, here, taxpayers' money. Unbelievable. Spite and hate. This is the effect of that PNM government, which had done the same thing to Bish. Right? Imagine a PNM minister on record as say we building schools for Parrot and Dwen. And next one, say we building schools for we people. So let me go and catch up back with the protest march.
The school right now. We want the school right now. We want the school right now. Finish with school right now. Finish with school right now. Finish.
What part of that could be right? And look at the high quality work. Because even within the bush, you're seeing the quality construction still standing up in the design for the children. It's not only that the school has been left like that, you know. Think about 6 years, average 7 classes, or 7 years, 2 classes or 3 classes of children, 60 children in each class, per year moving forward have been denied an opportunity to get an education. That's leadership. That's a government. And you all coming to tell us on World Children's Day, let's stop the atrocities against children. Isn't that atrocious? Isn't that a school for children? So isn't that an atrocity against children by the PNM, by Rowley, by Minister Bundles, by Garcia, by Lovell Francis, who wanted to have a party in the sea with electricity, rum, and big waves? Elections have consequences. But the President Paula May Weeks also, she encourages children. Yes, bring up this president. Let me hear what words of wisdom this president has to bestow upon me and the country at large. Let me hear. Because she does not tell us or won't tell us who came and told her to allow that list to be withdrawn because he had no faith and lost confidence in a commissioner of police. This constitutional expert could not read section 123.4 that says the president shall. So all of a sudden, her brain turned to mush. Let's hear what she says on the message from Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, on World Children's Day 2021. Well, this is going to be a whopper. Today is World Children's Day, a platform to celebrate our youngest and most precious citizens and promote their happiness, freedoms, and safety. It is also a golden opportunity for children to make their voices heard on issues that are important and relevant to their well-being, and hold adults accountable for prioritizing their rights and implementing the legal and social frameworks designed to serve and protect them. So you would like to hear from the children on issues that affect them, Madam President? But one of the issues affecting the children right now, as we saw in a video earlier, with a father holding a little baby and bandits running up in broad daylight, pulling her mother out right in front of her, stealing their car and putting the little baby's life at risk. A bullet could have, a finger could have squeezed, bullet could have gone, that child could have died. So one of the things that is foremost on the minds of children is their safety and their security. There's no police service commission. It collapsed. Why? Why, Madam President? Why is there no commissioner of police? Why is there no acting commissioner of police? Why are the police without leadership? Why are the police rudderless? Why is crime spiraling out of control, Madam President? Well, you said to hear the children, let the children's voices be heard, the smallest, the most precious. Well, let them talk to you, madam. Listen now, okay? Listen.
Madam President, what happened to the merit list? My mommy and daddy feel unsafe. I am scared.
Did you hear that, Madam President? Actually, we're going to play it again because Madam President had 2 ears now. But the ball is squeezed between it. So, Madam President, please listen to this voice of this little tiny baby who feels unsafe. Crime is out of control. Bullets being heard rattling through the night as they study for their exams. Listen to the voice of the children as you said, Madam President. Run it.
Madam President, what happened to the merit list? My mommy and daddy feel unsafe. I am scared.
The children are scared, Madam President. You have put them in a position to be scared. You have made the situation worse. You have jeopardized their lives. You have jeopardized the lives of their mothers and fathers. You are seeing deaths increasing, murder increasing. Young girls are being raped and pillaged and murdered and discarded, Madam President. And you come to give me a message of what? You're a total, complete disgrace. And I'm very sad to have to say that to you. Never before would I have thought that I would say that on douglAR Politics about a president of the republic. Our country is screaming out for the class of a Noor Hassan Ali. We bleed and we beg for a president with some sort of moral standing. Noor Hassan Ali, wherever you are, may God, Allah, Shiva, Lakshmi Ma, Jah Rastafari, all the Orisha gods, all of the Jesus Christ himself bless you, Noor Hassan Ali. For you carried your flag, the flag of Trinidad and Tobago and the flag of the presidency with such class, honor and strength. And now we're stuck with this. And the children are scared. Tobago PNM say, we know you want change. We know we have done nothing. But you don't have to change party to get change. We had Orville London, then we had Kelvin Charles, now you have Ansel Dennis, we have some new faces. So stick with the PNM, you want change, we change a few faces. That might have to be the most asinine campaign, speech and promises ever made in the history of politics. But Tobago agriculture needs help. Business Guardian, with the campaigning of the THA elections in full swing, promises are being made by vying parties. But according to Ronald Rupnarayan, lecturer, disaster risk resilience at Department of Food Production, Faculty of Food and Agriculture, the UE agricultural production in Tobago is very volatile and therefore easily impacted by any structural changes, internal and external, as well as adverse climatic and mainly flood and drought. And agriculture has been ignored in Tobago. Tobago tourism, much potential, little performance. This is PNM. PNM agriculture, Tobago. PNM tourism, Tobago. Gisha Kaulesa Alonso. The economic viability of Tobago's tourism product cannot be accomplished by empty promises, but on a sound implementation of strategies. Ted Gregg, the owner of Ted Sunshine Tours, told the Business Guardian that Tobago's tourism offering could have been and should have been more advanced than it is at present. Because it is not advanced, it is stagnated because of the PNM. Time for economic change in Tobago. Curtis Williams, economic change. Tobago, 18 years of unfettered PNM. So if they need economic change, it's a change at the PNM. But the PNM tell you, oh man, well, we ain't do good, but give me a chance now, we go change some pieces. In just 2.5 weeks, the people of Tobago will vote. Many in the know suspect it is going to be a close race. And if we are to judge from the January outcome, it is likely to go down to the wire. It has been 21 years now since the PNM wrested power from the NAR, with Orville London becoming the first PNM Chief Secretary after he defeated Ho Choi Charles. London's victory, I was saying 18 years, it's longer, it's 21 years. London's victory was based on a man who had worked in the vineyard, had convinced his own party that it needed to change. London did another thing that was politically brilliant. However, since that time, the Tobago economy has shattered. And economic change is needed. But Tracy say, and let me, before I go to Tricky Tracy, Archie, Keith Rowley boasted and took praise himself and the PNM for the construction of the Scarborough Hospital. I love Keith Christopher Rowley, the same Keith Christopher Rowley, who landed, who went by the DPP, and they just forget to tell you, and the DPP was going to charge, the landed, the gravel road from by the Scarborough Hospital, Keith Christopher Rowley, the budgeted price of the hospital was about 175 million, it went up under the PNM and was not completed to 385 million, and then it was the People's Partnership government who finished the hospital in Scarborough. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, but listen to what Rowley say. This man is pathological. Run it. You have that clip? Oh God, actually I talked so long and now you tell me no? But message Vishnu, I give him that. Anyway, You go get that back. Tracy said PDP tried to bully PNM supporters. The PNM who bullying people since 1956, who use Barry Butters, who use police up in the East-West corridor. The PNM who continuously uses bullies, who use gangsters to stop people who look like they're going to vote for UNC from voting in marginals. The PNM who is the rough-up party, the bully party, the Bajon party, the Fitzgerald Lagoon nasty party. The PNM who plays dirty politics, gutter politics, who's lie on people. As much as I detest Rowley, and yes, I said detest. I detest him as a man, as a human being, as a father. I detest him before politics. Forget and then politics after, with all his policies of black hate, his policies of hatred for all people except those pink hues and those financiers who he likes. Rowley is total scum, and I tell you all that without even any qualms. I detest Rowley, but not one day, not 1 minute. Look, I am doing a show here, an hour and a half. 3 hours per week. Radio, 15 hours per week. And not once I lie on Keith Rowley. Never will. Don't need to. Never will ever bring anything forth that is not true on Keith Rowley. And I detest the man. But Rowley and his PNM just lie on anybody right through. Black is white. Lie straight. And when they lie harder and buff and shout and make you believe that nobody could be so sick to be lying and buffing you so. You just stand up. Sometimes I eat in and I listen to Rowley and I know he lying. And if I lose concentration, I start to believe the man and then I just slap myself in my ball head and say, wake up boys, Rowley. The PDP say, the PNM say, PDP bullying PNM. Well, that means licks coming. When the PNM, the bully party, start to cry. Now, let's go back. I actually found it. Do you all believe that Keith Christopher Rowley of Landate, of gravel from rolling from a hospital to somewhere by Yee, Keith Christopher Rowley will say on a platform that the PNM built Scarborough Hospital and built the hospital, and it's the PNM who put the hospital? Run it.
To see what we can do next, or in parallel, to move Tobago from where you had a problem to being in a situation where that problem was solved. What were Tobago's problems? You know why there can be not too many sensible statements being made about Tobago's problems right now? Because most of the outstanding ones that stand up in front of you have been dealt with by the PNM. Nobody can come to Tobago and make a case about the infrastructure for Tobago's health services, unless they will tell you they want another hospital somewhere else in Tobago, and you will know they're not serious. Because under the PNM, you have two, one at the western end, one at the eastern end. Nobody's going to come in this election campaign and tell you they want another secondary school in Tobago, because you have as many as you need. Nobody can come and tell you they want another primary school in Tobago, because you have as much as you need. As the leader of the Tobago Council said to you tonight, our social and sporting infrastructure is second to none in the nation because you have them there. And
that clip must be a minute and 11 seconds. And that man lie about hospital, that man lie about sporting infrastructure. This minister had approved $125 million for Dwight York Stadium since 2012 to get refurbished. The plans were drawn up and taken. The architects, the civil engineers, all of them with the electrical plumbing. The plans were sitting there when we changed government, ready to go. The money was a bond loan from Ansham Merchant Bank to fix it. Them put some paint and say, look, Dwight York. The Tobago schools. Tobago school is not just a building. School is teachers, school is performance, school is exam performance, school is results. Tobago in the last 21 years has moved from being at the top echelons of the country, from SEA, CXC, Cape, whatever all they want to call it, now to the bottom. Tobago is at the bottom under the PNM. Tobago used to be the place, the birthplace of scholars of great note. This man stand up there and say everything in Tobago good. The PNM has handled all the problems. So when you're driving wrong in Tobago and you're busting tire every 2 weeks, when you have no water in Tobago, he say it good. When your electricity go, when they're sharing it, it's good. When you have no business and they foreclose on you and business shut down and your hotel shut down and you're going through and your restaurant that is shut down and the nightclub shut down and the pan side have no support, he say everything good in Tobago. Davidson Celestin chided for democracy comment. Head to the Davidson Celestin. Tricky Tracy, Tobago East resident, June Mackenzie has chided People's National Movement Tobago Council political leader Tracy. You can put up the image, Davidson Celestin, over comments on her failure to challenge the EBC Commission. Davidson Celestin said, Tricky Tracy said the attempt to challenge the EBC's recommendation was not surprising, given that the ultimate objective of certain parties is to undermine democracy in Tobago. Certain parties want to undermine democracy, and the PNM, who seeks all, and the Constitution said that you draw lots based on what happens in the Parliament. The Constitution was clear. The PNM ignored that, spent taxpayers' money for 11 months, even though they had no legitimate right so to do. Then went to the Parliament to instruct an independent institution that is supposed to create boundaries in Trinidad and Tobago for electoral purposes on their own, by their own equation. Rowley comes for the first time in history, breaks precedent and instructs an independent institution as the Prime Minister and head of the executive arm what to do and what number of seats to do. And the EBC, that is made up and led now by the niece of a PNM, former sitting PNM minister, they go like a puppy dog and do exactly what Rowley said and carve out seats from PNM strongholds to come and say, we go in with 15 seats, and Tricky Tracy say that other people want to thwart democracy. Really, Tricky Tracy? But Miss Mackenzie, June Mackenzie, is a good one for her. She said, I only respond to correct her clear misunderstanding of the democracy and the rights of Tobagonians. She has stated that she has faith in the Parliament and in the EBC. Her comments do not surprise me, says Miss Mackenzie. I, on the other hand, have faith in God and faith in justice. Davidson Celestin might be surprised to know that democracy is not what the Parliament says. It is, nor is democracy what the EBC defines it to be. Well said, my lady. Now, Ho Choi, just to let Tricky Tracy know, former Tobago House of Assembly THA Chief Secretary Ho Choi Charles is adamant that the procedure that was used for creating the 15 seats in the Tobago House of Assembly was unconstitutional. But Tricky Tracy saying, yes, she have faith in the Parliament. Yeah, the Parliament is Rowley, Shamfa, and Webster Roy. But then they come now. The PNM come. Tricky Tracy say, don't fall for no tricks. The other party come in with tricks, but them always calling UNC. We not in no election in Tobago. And just to let you all know, before them PNM say, what Anil talking about Tobago, I is a half Tobagonian. My father is from Tobago. My grandfather is Luther Roberts, Principal Roberts, who taught A&R Robinson and them in school. So cool all yourself, because the Tobagonian douglAR half talking. They come to bribe people now with 50 million, all of a sudden they do nothing for 21 years. But for election, they come and say, look, 50 million. And Ms. Haddad from the chamber say that is pure bribery. Stop that nonsense. The people say, when they ask in the Newsday, page 14, 50 million in grants for Tobago. Promise is one thing, but we pray they get it. Whether the election gimmick or not, people need to get help. From Instagram, games and more games. This with regards to the PNM pelting 50 million at people in the midst of an election. That's how the game does play. Money talks. Bribe to the fullest, said Anil Roberts. Anna Narayan says, politics as usual. Lazama, Instagram, bribery by a shameless government. Just saw the Rampant says bribes for votes. Let's see how smart Tobagonians are. Stephen Ishwani, it's a bribe to buy votes. Kevin Narayan, obviously people can't read between the lines. Vishnu Bundram, when the people need the money last year due to COVID-19 and job losses, all you squeeze it back. Richard Mohan, I'm surprised we have no money. It is total shameless act of promoting our party using taxpayers' money, unfair advantage. Political commentators wary of motives behind the 50 million payout. Now this PNM say this is not bribe, this is nothing, this is just par for the cause, this is what we plan to do. Four political commentators agree that the distribution of 50 million allocation to Tobago run up to the THA election on December 6 could be seen as an attempt to bribe voters. Let's hear these ladies and gentlemen. Indira Rampasad, an international relations lecturer at the Department of Political Science of the University of West Indies, said the move would certainly be perceived as an election gimmick. So this is a carrot they're handing out to Tobagonians, and so would be perceived, certainly as such, to solicit votes. Dr. Winford James says, and he is an English lecturer at UWI, he said, the PNM was continuing a practice it has had for some time, and it was obvious that the expenditure is geared towards attracting voters to the PNM. He said the act smacks of political desperation. Ansel Dennis is spending to win people, but other voters might look at what he's doing and say, hey, you can't fool me with this. And it can even turn off some of the PNM voters who are dissatisfied with the stasis that has set in the governance of Tobago in the last term. There are voters, says Dr. Winford James, there are voters who are likely to be disaffected, disenchanted at what is being done because it's such a clear attempt at bribing the voters and speaks to the voter in a particular way. It's almost admitting they haven't done enough. And now they are trying at this last moment, at this 11th hour, so to speak, to bring back voters and win new ones who are inspired by such political acts. We're moving on to Mr. Bishnu Raghunath now on the 50 million. Whether it's a bribe or not in Tobago to mama guy voters, PNM really are no shame, you know. Mr. Bishnu Raghunath says, all of a sudden, the PNM comes up with a 50 million grant that could be used in an election. In this context, the Code of Political Ethics says that state funds should not be used or abused to cause voters to vote in a particular way. And this could very well be seen as one of these instances. Economist Vanessa James said the people of Tobago were getting ready to hold the PNM to account for its 20-year mismanagement of the Tobago economy and for the continuous authoritarian, vindictive government. The money is indeed as seen as an expression of the desperation of the PNM. The PNM now feels it's really now being told by the people of Tobago that their time is up. The PNM is just desperate. They think they can buy out the people of Tobago, and this is as big a bribe as you can think of. I will tell you, the bigger the bribe, the more they will lose. But here Webster Roy, PNM, then Ansel Dennis, 50 million grants no election gimmick. Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Yana Webster Roy, and THA Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis said a 50 million allocation to the Assembly announced in the Tobago on Wednesday is government carrying out its policy. Jolene John says, Opposition Senator Jolene John said 50 million giveaway by the PNM-led Tobago House of Assembly ahead of the THA election cannot make up for how that party has ruined Tobago's entrepreneurial spark over the years. Ida which is the Innovative Democratic Alliance, says 50 million fund is a desperate election tool. Tracy tells Tobaconians don't get caught in trickery, but she and Ansel Dennis bringing 50 million to try and get votes, right? Now, what was very upsetting, the PNM goes to the lowest common denominator even against their own. And then when they do that, they try to blame someone else. There is nothing more dastardly than one lying on another human being. I've already told you all, as much as I detest Rowley, in the barber shop I told them, I use a strong word. I wouldn't use that word here because children is watch here. Children shouldn't use it. But I used it because I had to be honest to my boys there in the barber shop. I detest Rowley, but I would never lie on him. Never lie on Smallpin. Never lie on Al Rawi. All the information that is brought that shows that they are totally incompetent, that they recuse themselves and they are benefiting from being in government while you are suffering, all of that is pure facts. But in the PNM, they lie left, right, and center. So now they are saying, when there was a dastardly attack on a female politician, a PNM female politician, they're trying to blame the other party. But let's follow it logically. There is a PNM candidate called Franca, right? And an audio tape came out a few days ago, about 9-10 days ago, where she was talking very frankly. And I was quite impressed. Yes, she's a PNM, but I was very impressed. She was intelligent, speaking the truth, and just basically talking what she had seen. And that is missing in the PNM, because once you're in the PNM and you think could be as wrong as anything, you had to say it right. So it was refreshing. And she was saying that Ansel Dennis is just like them. She had faith in him and he's a failure. He don't care about people. He has done nothing and so on. Actually, do we have that audio to say this is what came out and was made public and was all over Facebook and so on as a PNM candidate? Bad talking, she leader them. Run it, Archie.
Those in authority do not care about our opinion. The only time we as to be going to have an opinion is when we vote, when we start voting people out, you know. And when they realize how serious it is. No, it's true, and I'm so tired. But going back to what Wendy was saying, it is the same thing over and over again.
Franca, you sound like me when I know, come on.
No, I am mad because nobody listening. It's like you talk. Yes, and it's to be very honest, I swear to God, I thought Ansel was going to make a difference, but he's worse.
Okay, that came out. Then all of a sudden, and me ain't gonna show you it because it's disgusting, it's wicked, it's evil, and it's nasty. All of a sudden, 3 days after that was made public, a video is sent out of this young lady enjoying herself in a private party with what seemed to be her husband, her boyfriend, her significant other. But they tried to send it out to show or to pretend or to suggest or to insinuate that her behavior was untoward. Now, she's a PNM, and birds of a feather flock together. So it's more than likely in this PNM party, this party that they were liming and having a good time, that it was PNM people that she cared about, she trusted, and everybody was friends. It's clear. And that video that came out had to come out, and she herself said so, that people that she trusted, and as a PNM, she would trust the PNM. People that she thought were her friends, and anyone seeing the video would know, it is somebody who is friendly, who was right there, encouraging, enjoying, having a time, that disseminated that nonsense to try and attack a young lady in politics. Yes, she's a PNM, but right is right and wrong is wrong. But what is amazing is that the PNM now trying to blame the PDP for that. PNM, go and scratch, don't try that. All you're disgusting. We have a little brain and we follow logically. The girl bad talk all your PNM. She told the truth on all you. She say Ansel Dennis worse than Kelvin Charles and Orville London. And the PNM don't care about nobody. Just like me telling you, the woman talk the truth. And all it come to bring down from inside to play a dirty, gutter, nasty PNM politics. And hear them now. PDP slammed for dirty tactics. And who would print that nonsense that makes no sense? Because the logic would suggest, a reasonable person would suggest, that that is PNM who sent out that on the lady. But the Guardian newspaper, the Guardian of Rowley's PNM, without any evidence, without any investigation, without any facts, here what them print. PDP slammed for dirty tactics. Prime Minister, look who come to slam Keith Rowley and the PNM Tobago Council, Tricky Tracy. Yesterday slammed PDP for allegedly sharing video clips and audio featuring the party's candidate. Abject total nonsense. The PDP was carrying on election all the time. The PDP was not in no party with the PNM winding up and dancing and enjoying itself. The lady did not talk bad about the PDP because the PDP was not in power. She was criticizing her very own PNM Tobago Council, criticizing Ansel Dennis, Tricky Tracy and the leadership of the PNM. And rightfully so, she was not lying. And then all of a sudden, her friends sent out a video on her. So she had PDP friends. There was a PDP. So you know you're going up for election and you're in a party. You so comfortable and PDP around. Please, we are not idiots. We understand that. So don't play games. But that just shows how disgusting the PNM is. Even to their own. All you're sick. The Prime Minister Trinidad and Tobago now better off against COVID-19. Actually, you know what they say, no? Prime Minister said on Wednesday, we owing to the vaccination trust, Trinidad and Tobago is now better placed. Really? Total complete failure. Health Minister, Trinidad and Tobago back to square one. So Rowley saying, Trinidad and Tobago, we better off, we doing great. And Rowley say, we doing great in COVID-19. But Health Minister Terence Dialsing is concerned that Trinidad and Tobago COVID-19 fight has regressed. But you're arguing with Rowley, boy. The fight has regressed and the country is back to square one, given that the number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 is the highest it has been since May. During Wednesday's virtual conference, he gave the numbers. We are back to where we were in May. The figures represent a place we did not want to be, but we are there. In other words, complete total failure after SOE, lockdown, shutdown, broke down, mash up business, mash up employment. But this was page 8, Newsday, Thursday, November 18th. Well, let me see what happens 2 days later now with this PNM. Page 18, Newsday, Saturday, November 20th. Dialsing praises government's COVID-19 response. Now you feel a joke making. Look the 18th here. He said we back to square one. We in a terrible place. We worse off. We fail. And then on 2 days later in the same Newsday, he said he praises the effort. Let me see it. Dialsing was speaking at the second virtual National Health Research Conference on Thursday. We have done reasonably well, I'd say, better than many developed countries with significantly more resources than us. We have brought the national population our best and brightest minds to explain and inform the public. Really? Miriam Abdul Richards, Miss Angostura, she ain't looking good for that contest. And inform the public and to bring the science in a palatable manner. Trinidad and Tobago does not understand how lucky we are. We instituted that and we are indeed fortunate to have all these new facilities. Really? We are fortunate that 28 citizens died. We are fortunate that when you go into the ICU, you should not waste time. Once you go into the ICU in Trinidad and Tobago under the PNM, you should walk with your best suit to look casket sharp. That's what you are proud of. 28 citizens dying. citizens averaging 16 deaths per day, the highest death rate in the world right now, that the ICU and the HDU, the systems in place are not working. The Alsing said the responsibility now lies with the population. That's all your new society. So y'all getting paid, y'all in charge of the treasury, y'all spending billions, y'all carry us up in the debt to GDP ratio of 95%. And it's our, as we talk that, the IMF statement, wait, let me read a statement here. It's amazing how the IMF statement, the song just like the PNM. Y'all think now about the country. Think about the debt to GDP ratio is up at 94%. Think about the businesses, the energy sector, the lack of diversification, the lack of foreign exchange, the pressures, the businesses that shut down, the unemployment. Y'all live here. Here the IMF. Right? The authorities' decisive policy response helped contain COVID-19 spread, protect lives and livelihoods, and pave the way for a strong recovery. That sound like the IMF? Or that sound like Balize House? That the COVID-19 response was great. They're saying that come from the IMF, eh? It was in the IMF report. But now you see, we don't just take information, so we have to be very vigilant and analyze. Let's continue to hear what the IMF said. It is testament to our proper fiscal management. Well, that is Brian Manning they know, right? But the IMF said the authorities acted decisively to contain the pandemic, meaning PNM, meaning our government, acted decisively to contain the pandemic, with 28 people dead overnight, 582 cases, 781 cases 2 days ago, 470 cases yesterday. Highest deaths ever, 28. Earlier in the 5 days ago, 23 dead. But this IMF saying the authorities acted decisively to contain the pandemic. Containment and health measures to fight the virus limited the number of cases and fatalities despite waves of infection. Does this sound scientific? Does this sound independent? Does this sound like they analyzed and saw the numbers and created a report? Or does this sound like somebody fed them PNM information? I asking y'all, with about 45% of the targeted population fully vaccinated as of November 15th, progress on vaccination efforts is ongoing. We have read reports over the last 3 weeks that vaccination stagnant, that it stopped. Editorials, Express, Newsday even, and Guardian even, failure. Vaccine hesitancy has taken over. We have to give away vaccine because nobody had taken it. And the IMF says progress on vaccination efforts is ongoing. Really? With about 45% of targeted population for fully vaccinated as of November. Well, how is the IMF talking things that are not true? We have the facts. We know that the COVID-19 response has been tatters. We have been on state of emergency. The economy is shattered, and yet death rate is higher than it ever was. 28 people dead as we speak. 592 cases. Delta variant ravaging both islands. But the IMF says that PNM did good. That sounds like somebody fed them information. Now they also said foreign exchange we can't get, and they put some correct information, and Moody's downgraded us again. Now Moody's is the real thing. But hear this now. This was interesting when I read the report. It says, Finance Minister Coleman said in a Twitter statement, TNT just got positive reviews from an article for IMF consultation. So IMF consulted. With who did they consult? The Ministry of Finance. You see how it sounds PNM? The Minister of Finance, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, the Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Brian Manning. They consulted with them. You see why they printed? It's sounding like a PNM document. Who else did they consult with? They consulted with the central bank and the central bank governor. The central bank governor who's Rowley neighbor. Hey, PNL, all you really sick, all you feel we go believe all of this stupidness. Hey, Kevin Ramlarine, put up Kevin Ramlarine and understand the seriousness. Put up his thing, let me read it, boy. Put up what he said, because it's a very serious thing. PNM is playing joke. We have been downgraded. We are downgraded by Moody's. IMF mamagism. Yesterday, Moody's downgraded Trinidad and Tobago from BA1 to BA2. They have assigned a stable outlook to the revised rating. They cite as determining factor for this action a debt burden of 85% to 90%. Even that is wrong, Moody's, because it's at 93% right now of GDP, up from 62% in 2019. The government, and it was 41% under Kamla Prasad Bisesa in September 2015, right? And PNM take it from 41% up to 93%. The government has been borrowing to finance the budget deficits. These deficits have grown due to the impacts of COVID and lower natural gas production. And we saw in The Guardian today that Coleman but lie again about gas production, inflating it by some 0.25 billion BCF per day, has fallen precipitously since 2015. This strategy of borrowing our way out of depression is not sustainable. The transformation of the TNT economy, premised on a diversification, energy efficiency, and low carbon strategies, cannot be postponed. We are in such a bad state. I cannot point to any debate or discussion of depth on these topics in the forum. TNT in a very bad way. So all that mamagism for this consultation with the IMF, when the IMF telling us we vaccine program good, when we know it's total tatters, shattered, and nonsense. The IMF print that the government did well to contain COVID-19. IMF, you came and check with porous borders. You came and see the Brazilian variant. You come and see Delta. You went in the ICU to know that once you reach there, it's best you go Belgroves. Otherwise, some of them Batus or whoever does deal with dead, it's best you park up there, because when you reach in we hospital under the PNM, you might as well walk with your Sunday best, because it's casket time. TNT in a really bad way. After 6 months under the state of emergency, which was declared in the hope of reducing COVID-19 infections and death, the sad reality facing Trinidad and Tobago is that we are now back in the same space we were last May, with a parallel healthcare system overloaded with cases and struggling to keep those people alive. The Guardian of Rowley's K-Pax, but yet the IMF come to tell we that the Guardian, who is forced to back up Rowley and tell the truth, you know they didn't do this willingly. It's so true that they just had to do it. The IMF come to say Rowley and them do good with COVID. Really? Who can? I don't know. You know, actually I think we spoke on douglAR Politics, Coffee and Doubles. We spoke about this nonsense, exactly what the Guardian saying here, and exactly what Diyal Singh say. Imagine Diyal Singh is agreeing with Anil, but only problem is 6 months after the country has lost $24 billion, after the country has lost and 44 businesses would never open again, after another 85,000 people have lost jobs, after people have been depressed and suicide rates and domestic violence has gone up and crime is rampant under SOE, and now the SOE release, and banditry, rape, robbery and murder is prevailing and pervading the society. Diyal Singh now agree with what Anil say about 6 months ago. Actually run it. The Coffee and Doubles one. You're watching me, you and Vishnu, all you go get buff tonight. Right? Yes, in a day. When you find it, let me know. And Diyal Singh and Raul, you find it, play it, man. Yes, all you're moving slow. Ethelbert admitted that the PNM has failed to protect Trinidad and Tobago and then coming to blame citizens. We are now possibly heading in tomorrow to a total lockdown curfew. Do you know that on that, if they only say that, that means the economy of Trinidad and Tobago will lose a maximum $24 to $30 million per day. Our GDP under Kamla Prasad Bisesa was $157 billion in 2014-2015. Before last year, it had dropped under the PNM down
to 128 billion. It now stands at about 111 billion. With another lockdown, we may drop down close to 106 billion. We cannot sustain ourselves like that. People are suffering. Crime is going out of whack. People running in people's houses, and they just come and say, oh, we've been here 6 years. The borders have been porous, but we're going to fix it. The cutlass vessels coming. They're not here. The Riverine Police Unit come. It now reached. So what happened for the 14 months before? We now going to deploy police and roadblocks down. So what happened for 14 months in a pandemic when citizens were locked out? We now going to patrol. We now going to monitor. We asking the people for help now. Please let us know when the illegal immigrants are coming in. Now, 14 months into a pandemic, when we are dead last, we are dying. People, the new variant is ravaging us, and you who fail to do your job come to blame the citizens, and all you say elections don't have consequences. We elected idiots. We elected Ethelbert. We elected an Oreo. We elected a small pin. The borders are porous. Kamala said, dome. You all thought it was dome builder, dome sweeper, dome cleaner. Remember the bullet crown making joke and all you laughing? And you all elected an idiot. And now we're going to get it. We're going to get curfew, suffer, hungry, businesses shut down, everything shut down, economy shut down, crime out of hand. Great is the PNM. All your vote are flipping game.
And Rowley, Dialsing, Small Pin, Mascara Man, Rental, Porsche Rental, Building Rental, One Shot Tight Pants, Lawmaker in the day, lawbreaker in the night, saying that Trinidad and Tobago has handled the COVID-19 better than most developed countries, and have consulted with the central bank PNM governor who's in business with Rowley in Inez Gate in Bacalet, Tobago. His neighbor, the PNM central bank governor, consulted with the IMF and tell them that the PNM do good. And this is what we have in our country. We all know the total disaster and collapse, but them coming to Mama Guy with that. But Moody's didn't take that. Moody's downgraded Trinidad and Tobago because the PNM is a downgrade. The PNM is backward. And when they're talking thing, the house in the USA okays $2 trillion social and climate bill to alleviate the pain of the people of the United States. This $2 trillion is on top of the $5 trillion that Donald Trump had released for people out there. People was getting their check in the mail. Them give out 150 million checks twice. But you down here cannot even get 50,000 people to get 1,500 TT. 1,500, you go in the grocery, you must get 6 bags. And that go last year, a family of 4, approximately 16 days for the most. Well, Tuesday, Senator Massa, you bring a motion, and here it is, Senator Massa colluding with the PNM, because you have motions, first in, first out. Whenever you put in your motion, whoever has a motion for Private Members' Day occurs once per month. And the convention, the practice of the Senate over decades is that if there is any change to be made in that lineup, that order, that the government, the independent, and the opposition must consult, agree to change. Just so Senator Massa with Clarence Budit Rambarat gone, he filed a motion against us, the UNC, because he find we should hush and let he do what he want while he on a PNM board, and feel he could attack the UNC, attack Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, attack Kamla, attack Munilal, attack the UNC, attack me I care about this clown, right? This disgrace, but I waited. But what they did, they colluded with the PNM, and they just brought forward, jumped the queue to the motion to attack UNC. So this PNM senator bringing a motion Tuesday. So they get ready now. Massa, where you feel? And they'll go hush. Boy, fire burn you, nobody here know you. You know Paula May, how you reach there. Good for you. Nobody don't care. You ever help anybody in this country? What have you done for this country? Well, you go find out Tuesday, Mr. Man. But you have already shown the country that there is no independence, that you're a part and parcel of the decay of democracy, because you're siding with the mere fact that you don't even understand that you should not be in any position to attack anybody, whether the government or the opposition. That your job is simply to read bills and be independent. You're attacking UNC newspapers all over. You scumbucket. When you attack my health and cast aspersions on my character that I would want to thwart a process by faking asthma, you disgusting liar. Did you apologize? When we go deal with you Tuesday, Master Day done, boy, what you feel? What you feel is? Eh? You feel it's 1942? You're clown? Well, Tuesday for you, boy. And just to let you know, you listen to this video too, because this video includes you. Run it.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame. What a travesty. It calls for us to think and think deep. The stage we are in as a country is not a stage where you become an onlooker. You have become an onlooker for too long. You must get ready to put your hands to the plow and be part of the process. It's not just about PVC, carry PVC. You must be in the kitchen where it is being determined. You must be there where the decisions are being made. If we are there in our numbers, they cannot outnumber us. But you leave it aloof. Oh, no, it's too dirty. It's a dirty game. And then the dirty guy is getting to the game of play. And you are there not showing up. And when they begin to make the decisions, you will know whether it's a dirty game or not. The result is always dirty on yours. Dirty on your health. Dirty on your business. Dirty on your success and your career. I hope that is stirring up something in you.
In the face of brilliance, I have nothing further to add. Sir, go to the head of the class. Your insightful, brilliant analysis, your delivery, your passion is inspirational. Good night.